Hi everyone, it's meteorologist Terry Swails here on tswails.com, and this is a special weather briefing on the potential for some very strong severe weather later this afternoon and evening over portions of Iowa and northern Illinois. Already today, the Storm Prediction Center has issued a moderate risk for severe weather, and that encompasses much of southern Iowa and across northern Illinois and extreme southern Wisconsin, also parts of Missouri in there as well. This would include places like Des Moines, the Quad Cities, up to Dubuque, down to Quincy, and off to the east as far as Chicago, and very close to Milwaukee as well. A large geographical area involved in the threat today. Already, a tornado watch has been issued that covers eastern Nebraska and extends into much of south central and southwestern Iowa. It does get as far east as Des Moines, and that is out until 6 o'clock tonight. Severe weather already ongoing in portions of western Iowa as the system advances to the east. Now, as we take a look at the satellite image, this is very critical here. Thunderstorms have already moved through eastern Iowa and western Illinois, are now working their way southeast and weakening, while the next cluster is beginning to take shape out to the west with the bright white clouds showing up in western Iowa and eastern Nebraska. But of more importance to the area under the gun later today and this evening is the fact that sunshine is now emerging and the temperatures will quickly rise this afternoon, and with dew points in the low to mid 70s, lots of instability will be realized around eastern Iowa and western Illinois into parts of northeastern Missouri. In fact, I'm going to take you into this graphic here, which does show you what's known as the Energy Helicity Index. And so basically the EHI shows us where there's going to be great instability this afternoon and a lot of rotation, and that rotation will be imparted into the thunderstorms, and that is what generates what we call supercells. And that threat is definitely going to be high around eastern Iowa and western Illinois. Also, you're looking at capes here. This is the convective available potential energy, and some of the capes could reach as high as 5,000 joules this afternoon. That is exceptional instability. And as we talked about, supercells, a real threat today. Rotating thunderstorms, the ones we all get concerned about here in the weather business, these are the ones that can produce large hail damaging winds and tornadoes. And it does appear there is going to be a significant tornado threat today in parts of east central Iowa and perhaps into northwestern Missouri as we go through the afternoon hours. I am fully expecting a tornado watch to be issued. If things go right, could even be what's known as a PDS watch, a particularly dangerous situation. I can't guarantee that, but it sure would not shock me if that was the situation later today. And what you're looking at here is a virtual sounding. This is just north of the Quad Cities late today. And on the very right-hand side, you can see the wind barbs. And they're out of the southeast at the ground level. And then as you go up into the atmosphere, they abruptly veer to the west. So you've got a lot of shearing going on. And that's the thing that gets you those supercells. And today looks like a very volatile situation for those and perhaps tornadoes in some parts of the Midwest. And one other parameter that we look at for tornadoes is what we call a hodograph. And again, this is just north of the Quad Cities late this afternoon, and the winds again start out at the surface from one direction, and then they just cut off directly to the west as you go higher into the atmosphere around 500 millibars. Got that classic hockey stick look here, just some really sharp veering there, and that's supportive of tornadoes as well. So just looking at all the parameters today, it certainly looks like the threat is there for strong, severe weather that could include large hail, damaging winds, and perhaps some strong tornadoes later on this afternoon. I would advise you to have a plan in place today if severe weather does come into your area. This is one of those situations that I would deem exceptionally dangerous, particularly for eastern Iowa and western Illinois. We don't have days like this too often. I do want to stress, though, this is all on paper, and sometimes it looks bad in the mornings, never really quite pans out. But it sure does look like there is lots of potential out there later on this afternoon. And of course, I'll be watching the situation closely and actually do plan to be out in the field doing some chasing as well later on today. So I'll hope to bring you some of the information from the field live as well, and we'll keep you updated on what's going on around the Midwest with this severe weather situation. Thanks for visiting tswails.com. Stay safe out there today, and as always, roll weather.